it was requested that I make a presentation on the difference between a protest and a redress. You have to understand, in a race, you have rules, racing rules of sailing. By the way, this is a composite of the racing rules of sailing, which comes out every 4 years and issued by the International Federation of Sailing. And it includes comments from all the national authorities, and I won't go into that, being U.S. Sailing is the national authority for the United States. And the next issue will be coming out in 2017. It'll be good for 4 years. It's sort of like a guide. This is how you race. There are rules. You can't start early, you can start late, but you can't start too late, stuff like that. You can't run into boats, you gotta go around marks, you gotta go around them to port, not to starboard, stuff like that. And when you get to a mark, you've got to give the other boat room to get around, stuff like that. If you don't, you're violating a rule. If you violate a rule and somebody witnesses your boat violating a rule, you can be protested. If you are protested, the protesting boat has to notify the boat to be protested that he's protesting them. Doesn't have to tell him why, it just tells him you're being protested. He flies a red flag from the boat, visible. One other rule that you have to do in a protest, you must notify the race committee that you're going to file a protest.
Immediately or at
any time, as soon as you get to the race committee, but you have to do it by the time you get back to the dock. And you usually have 1 hour from the end of the race, and that's usually signaled by a horn that the race is over. You have 1 hour from that horn to file the protest.
Even if there are other races to be run?
Well,
if you're moving right from
if you're
one race
coming
to the
into
next.
the dock and the horn is sounded, the race is over.
So sometimes you race more than one race while you're out.
But you're not in the dock with the horn sounding.
That's when the series is
When the
over.
whole thing's over.
When the whole thing is over.
When the whole
When all the races are
all
done.
the races are done,
Okay.
the horn is sounded, the race is over. Then you have a protest.
Don't they generally, the horn's usually sounding when the race committee boat comes into dock?
Yes, when the signal boat uses docking, and you're not gonna have any more races.
That's the one, the race committee's one.
Okay?
You have
Not the signal for your finish.
Right.
In general, a protest is issued when there's a violation of a racing rule. There's a lot more in here that says what a protest is and who can protest and this, that, and the other. Generally, let me get my glasses on. Hell to get old. A protest may be filed by a vote. Anybody on that boat can file a protest. Doesn't have to be the skipper. It can be anybody. It can be filed by the race committee, a member of the race committee, or the protest committee can file a protest.
We have a protest committee?
You have to have one on every regatta. We usually get by with only one person, with 2 non-interested people serving on the committee. It's usually 3 people. A protest normally concerns an incident that occurs in the racing area that has been seen by a boat or crew or the race committee. The protest committee doesn't have to see the incident. It can learn of an incident during the conduct of a protest hearing. You understand what that means? If another protest is going on and they hear something in that hearing that says this boat did something wrong, then they can file a protest. So they don't have to see it, they just have to know it occurred. Now, a redress is a little bit different. And both of these are explained in paragraph 60 of the Racing Rules of Sailing or paragraph 62 in the Racing Rules of Sailing. A redress results from a request based upon a claim or possibility that a boat's score during a race or a series has been or may have been significantly made worse by improper action or omission by the race committee, protest committee, organizing authority, or other related committees involved in the race, such as measurement committee. Okay, remember, if there's an improper action on any one of those, a redress, and it results in a vote score being made worse by that action, they can file a redress. Another redress is an injury or physical damage because the action of a boat that was breaking a Part 2 rule or from a vessel not racing that was required to keep clear. Now explain that to you. If you're racing and you have a tug pushing a barge and you're right on your course to race and you can't get around him, you could file a redress so that your time can be changed to compensate for the tug blocking your course. That's a redress. That's not a violation of a rule. If you give help to another boat, you can file for a redress. You can't give help to yourself, but you have to give it to another boat. Okay. If the action of a boat or crew member that resulted in a penalty under Rule 2, Racing Rules of Sailing number 2, which is known as the Fair Sailing Rule. You can be expelled from sailing forever for violation of that rule. Rule 2. We had, in the U.S. Optics, we had a Rule 2 violation. I don't know how it came out, but it's, so you understand what I said about the Rule 2 violation?
You said it's a cheating rule, right?
That's the cheating rule. Okay. That, in general, is the difference between redress and protest.